On today's Buckeye Roast, we're asking the question, do the Buckeyes have the 4 best players in college football right now? We break down the top-tier talent and where they stack up nationally. We'll then check out the latest Heisman poll and give our thoughts on a wild Week 10 across the country with major playoff implications. Plus, all the highlights from Ryan Day's press conference, and then Ohio State officially on a recruiting heater. We ask, is it too late? We ask, will they get flips? We ask, are the job openings only going to benefit Ohio State? That and then some on today's Buckeye Roast with Ron and Q. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are back for another episode of the Buckeye Roast. It's your boy Ron James here with my guy QP Ski. Q, how you doing?
Yes, hey, not too bad. I think Jermaine was so excited for the show to start, he started yelling at Chris Drew.
It's that get back, Q.
But yeah, it was 87 today, Ron, so I can't complain. How are you?
I'm not doing too bad. It is far from 87 here or whatever temperature you just said. I know it's just significantly colder than that. We normally start with a number, trivia, something. Q, I have a number for you today.
What is that?
That number is 200.
Ooh, how many episodes we've done?
That is the answer. We have just recently passed the 200 episode milestone. This is our third season together doing the Buckeye Roast, our 4th season doing content together. We were doing live streams for games on Playback many moons ago. We were one of the first 30 creators on Playback. We were on there long before Gilbert Arenas and their NBA deal and all of that stuff. But yeah, man, we've been doing this for a long time. So 200, congrats to us and to many more. Maybe we'll see hopefully we get these Bugattis before 1,000. Is that the new goal around here? Bugatti before 1,000 episodes?
I'm just saying, it sounds like we could have had Bugattis already. could have really turned up, but I like being modest. keeping my bicycle.
I don't let us. If we get Bugattis, I'm gonna start saying Bugatti like Andrew Tate and start calling them Bugattis.
Yeah, be like the one streamer, just have it in the shot, like in your background. There's a Bugatti. Like, is that real? Oh, hold on, you'll start.
It's actually inflatable. You throw a dart at it.
Oh, too funny.
I actually did have another segment for the show, but I didn't prepare the file, so I'm going to need a minute. You were at a game this past weekend. You went to the Utah Jazz. Someone made the joke that you were sitting so close that one of the players flew you out. How was that game? We haven't talked about it. You said you were going to share some pictures from the game in the community.
Yeah, I got to get them from the drive. I think my friend just put them in there, but no, it was awesome, man. I think I haven't been to an NBA game in decade, maybe almost 2 decades. Like it's been a while. I used to get some tickets, but it's been a minute. But it was fun, man. I had a good time. Sat at the 3rd row, so if you happen to watch a game on TV, you might have caught a glimpse of my shoe. Maybe you might have been in there, but it was a good time. And I always recommend this to everybody. If you're gonna go to an NBA game, like you don't go often, spend some money, get a club seat, and get some nice seats because it's fun. They feed you. Give you alcohol. Like they did it up. We had as much food as we want, as much alcohol, including liquor, as we wanted. Snacks, they give it to you.
How lit did you get? That's the important question. Did you take full advantage of the free booze and liquor?
No, I was not blasted in there. I think I had about
boo
teas. Halloween was coming up, so I didn't need to go crazy because the weekend it would have been quite. I might not be allowed to do the show if I'd have went hard at the game and then poured it into the weekend. So I took it a little easy that night.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you had a good time in Utah. I'm glad that you're back for the show, and I am also glad that I finally have the visual aids for the next segment that I wanted to do. Q, we talked a ton about spooky season and Halloween this past month, and I'm not quite ready to let it go. So I have what I feel to be some cursed images, if they were to load, that I would want to take a look at as we're just finally passing Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, I think November is still a great month for horror. Most definitely, because what are you gonna talk about? There's not that many Thanksgiving movies, and if they are, they're those Tyler Perry-ish black family movies that I grew up with that I don't want to ever acknowledge again. So,
well, Q, I have some cursed images that I think honestly that could be our question of the day. What's worse than these images? What's worse, these images or a Tyler Perry Thanksgiving movie?
let's see.
Any idea
What is this?
Hutchinson.
What's the door half? It's just there's a lot going on in this image that I'm like, who took this?
Terrell Pryor on his official Michigan visit.
Ooh, I can see the Michigan in the background. Look at that. I'm sure Ron is somewhere up there in the crowd behind him. Yeah,
he's a real one. No Michigan gear on.
I'll tell you. I mean, you were a lot closer to this recruitment than I was, but I just remember Terrell Pryor being like the very first big time recruitment. I think I kept track of like what was he gonna do, and one of my biggest memories is it was like what signing day. He said, "Nope, not gonna sign yet." We're like, "What? We waiting?"
No. The best part about that story is the fact that he had a press conference to announce that he wasn't signing on National Signing Day. Having a press conference to say that you're not going to sign, I think, is one of the most diabolical, narcissistic things that you could possibly do. So shout out to TP for that one. The Dawn.
Oh, it could have been when I again started keeping track of recruiting, and it was the Travion Henderson, Donovan Edwards class that like would have fed generations. And
you're looking ahead, Q.
Oh, that just does not look right. It's not the fact that he visited Michigan; it's the fact that it looks like somebody has a gun on the other side of that photo. Just like smile and be happy.
He's looking like he's having a good time.
Who is that?
JJ McCarthy. Like, do you watch football?
Yeah, I just can't tell because half his face looks smushed. Unlike y'all who get to see us on your full laptop, for us it's like this. We got a whole page to look at, so makes it a little more difficult. JR, what could have been, man? What could have been?
What could have been?
What? I had no idea. When did Michigan offer CJ Stroud?
After us, obviously.
Okay. Very late in the cycle. Oh, okay. I didn't even know. Zach Harrison. That makes sense.
There you go. I'm glad you knew that one.
That makes sense. I can see that. Some Buckeye fans would be like, take him.
Zach Harrison is balling out in the NFL right now. It shows the malpractice that we didn't get more production out of him at Ohio State. And Buckeye legend also wore the red jacket to the visit. Come on now. Captain Jack.
Captain Jack. Just doesn't, yeah. I'm glad he has that red on. It makes his photo look a little more bearable.
Exactly. So, yeah, I just didn't want to give up on spooky season Q. So, wanted to start off the show with a couple of cursed images. Have we done that on the show before?
Done that. Honestly, the most is that Aiden Hutchinson. Whoever took that picture did not want him to commit to Ohio State.
I missed one too. I had Blake Corum's Ohio State visit picture as well. But I forgot to throw it in the slideshow. But Q, enough of talking about that team up north and how they missed out on all those great talents. Let's get into it.
All right, play the song, man.
Hey guys, we got a lot of cool stuff going on the channel right now, so make sure you like and subscribe. Obviously, Ron and Q are doing a great job going daily for the Buckeye Roast, and then me and Tyler are sprinkled throughout the week doing all things Ohio sports. The channel hit 3,000 subs super quickly, and we couldn't do that without you guys. And we want to continue to grow. So make sure you like and subscribe, and we appreciate you guys as always. What does my little brother do? He goes, peace.
Honestly, we should make Chris Drew do one for every time that sub count changes. No matter how much it changes. Just goes up, one person subs, and he has to record another one just to update the number.
It's so funny that you say that. We are at 3,598. So if you're watching this now, you could be sub 3,600. But I was thinking we need a live counter on here because, the countdown to 5,000 is fast and furious at this point. So make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. It costs you nothing. It helps us a ton. Q. Some people say that procrastination is a bad thing, but hey, sometimes it works out in your favor. And we were scheduled to do this show, 2.5 hours ago, and we're just now finally recording, which gave us time to get the official college football playoff rankings.
Hey, perfect timing.
Perfect timing. And I thought it was fitting that we put these graphics side by side because, of course, everybody's wondering, well, what were these teams in the AP poll? So first look at the college football playoff rankings on the left. The Buckeyes come in at first place, Indiana at 2. Not much difference on line 1. It's chalk. Does that surprise you at all that the AP and the college football playoff rankings are identical for the top 5?
Yeah, kind of does. I don't trust ESPN on the college football playoff, which is a problem in itself. We'll talk about that later. But I think Indiana, if they weren't blowing teams out by so much, that Texas A&M would have been switched. But I just think winning 50-10 every week has helped them out, so that helped them keep the 2 spots. So a little surprised there, but not completely shocked.
The College Football Playoff Committee not rocking with Oregon. That's the big shakeup on line 2. Oregon at 9 versus 6 in the AP poll. Do you agree with that? Everything else pretty much chalk there. They slide Oregon to 9 and move 7, 8, 9 up to 6, 7, 8. What's your thoughts on line 2 of the rankings?
All I could think was because 7, 8, 9. Literally almost said that. In a way, I get it. They're big games against Indiana. Clearly, they lost at home. They don't really have that big credible win. They didn't play a big non-power or non-Big Ten opponent. So, in a way, I understand it. But also, I'm looking at it like, do we really think BYU beats Oregon? Do we really think Texas Tech beats Oregon? You can say yes. I'm not saying they would or wouldn't, but I'm just saying, if you really think about it, you're like, I don't think Oregon loses to any of those 3 teams in front of them, and I would question probably the three before that. So I don't agree with it, but if you're looking at like a strength of schedule, a win value, then I can kind of understand why Oregon would be at 9.
We move to the next line, and we see probably the biggest shakeup of the poll. Texas at 11. Currently, the committee's telling us if Texas wins out, they're a playoff team. And I'm like, man, look at the playoff committee doing something bold. And then I looked at Texas's schedule.
Yeah.
Georgia, Arkansas, Texas A&M. They are a playoff team if they beat 2 top 5 teams before the end of the season. Yeah, I'd say they probably should be in the playoffs. So what I thought at first glance was a bold take by the committee, I thought it's lazy. They're like, all right, Texas, you want to be a playoff team? We'll put you at 11. Win the rest of the season, and we'll put you in. If not, we'll see you later.
Yeah, I think Texas has proven it, and it'd be a hot take for some people. Obviously, they beat Oklahoma with an injured John Mateer just coming back, but I think they're a better football team than Oklahoma is right now, especially after what I've seen on Saturday. And if you look down the line, yeah, that is a tough schedule, but we can't sit up here and act like Georgia and A&M both. A&M hasn't lost yet, so can't necessarily say they're beatable, but Georgia sure is. So I think they do have a chance to sneak in here in the playoffs. Obviously, we'll see. If they were to split that, let's say they beat Georgia and lose to A&M, a 3-loss team has not been in the college football playoff yet. If they did that, where would you feel about putting them in or taking them out?
If Texas were a 3-loss team?
Yeah, if they beat Georgia and lost to A&M.
Their best wins would be over
Georgia would be their best one. Yeah,
Georgia win. Georgia, Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, and their losses would be to Ohio State, Florida, and Texas A&M. I would feel comfortable putting them in because, like I said, I don't think many of these teams are qualified to be playoff teams. So if we're stretching it, let's go for it. I like this Texas team. I think they're talented on defense. So I think if they're able to go 1-2, if any team's deserving to be a 3-loss playoff team, I think it would be Texas. Q, I wanted to pivot a little bit and ask you about the ACC because we talked about it. Is this a no-bid league? And currently, no-bid league.
Well, unfortunately, that is impossible. Somebody has to be in, so it won't finish as a no-bid league. But, I mean, you look at it, if you were just playing, take the top 12 teams, they would not be in right now. And I'm like, all right, UVA, I have my love for Tech, so I still hate seeing UVA up there. Louisville, saw them get a win. They're playing well. I mean, you talked about Pitt earlier. They have a stretch where they can upset some people. I mean, I think we just got a log jam of ACC teams, but there's clearly no.
Is this the Miami effect that they want to convince us that Miami is a relevant team and they hyped up Miami so much that like we have to pretend like the ACC isn't a bunch of mids? So you're telling me you think there are 5 teams in the ACC better that does the Big Ten even have 5 teams ranked right now?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay. I'm just looking, and I have a hard time believing that 5 of the best teams, the top 25 teams in the country, come from the ACC. I digress. I look at 14 through 18, and you have Vanderbilt snuck in there, but you have this cluster of ACC teams. When you look at this cluster, who is your favorite right now to make the playoffs?
Honestly, the team that I've been most impressed, and I'll lie to you, I've not watched a ton of ACC football, so it's after Florida State fell off a truck. I was like, yeah, I'm out. So Louisville has
week 2?
I mean, okay, don't do me like that. At least week 4. Louisville was very impressive. I mean, obviously, I watched pretty much a full Miami game. I thought their defense looked really good. I don't know if they had some offensive playmakers as well. And I was like, okay, Louisville seems like a team out of the ACC that I can buy. I haven't saw much of Virginia. You probably have seen more than I have of Virginia. We talked about them quite a few times. And I mean, I think Pitt, ever since they've had their backup quarterback in, is playing as good a ball as anybody. So, and obviously Georgia Tech, you can't outcount them except that loss that they just had. I mean, that makes it look a lot worse. If not, they would.
I can count them out. If you lose to NC State, a team that Pitt just put 50 on, I'm not taking you serious.
I understand, but I feel like every ACC team is going to have that loss. Like, they're going to have that loss, and you'd be like, really? So I'm not.
Louisville's loss is to Virginia by 3.
I mean, wait, say it again.
I said Louisville's only loss this season was to Virginia by 3. They beat Pitt by a touchdown, given I will say that was with Pitt's that was with Eli Holstein and not Mason Heinzl. So, I mean, take that how you would like. And then, I mean, you look at the rest of this Louisville schedule, Cal, Clemson, SMU, that's going to be probably the tough one. And then Kentucky, it's not a crazy schedule to finish the season.
No, they should roll. I mean, I think Louisville's going to end up in. I think the one question is this going to be a 1-bid league or at least a 2-bid league? And I feel like
can't be a 2-bid. There's no way.
1. Yeah, like it's probably going to end up a 1 because there's just not enough teams to catapult you up there, which kind of sucks. I mean, we will see, but if I'm looking at all these teams, the best I've seen is Louisville. Unless Pitt goes and they finish a run. I mean, Pitt's on a heater, so if they go and finish a run undefeated and win the ACC championship, then I feel comfortable with them being in there.
Neutral site, Michigan versus Virginia. Who you taking?
I'm taking Michigan. Come on, man. I mean, I ain't even got to watch Virginia enough for that. And that's good.
Neutral site, Georgia Tech versus Michigan. Who you taking?
Well, interesting there. I might take Georgia Tech right now. I mean, I feel like closer to that same brand of tough football, but I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to bet against Haynes King. I feel like Haynes King and Bryce Underwood. I say, give me Haynes King. He's gonna make it happen.
Louisville versus Michigan.
I do not think Louisville could do to Michigan what they did to Miami. That's the one thing. I think if they look and they're like, okay, we just got to shut one wide receiver down and we'll be okay. I think Michigan would find a way to dig out that game.
Michigan versus Miami.
Which Miami am I getting? I think that's the biggest.
That's the $1 million question.
Am I getting the Notre Dame Miami or am I getting the SMU?
Well, there are 2 losses. How many more stinkers do you think they got left in them?
One. I think Miami. Bro, before the season ends, I think Miami seals their bid outside the playoff. I think they get that third loss, so where the point is not even a question of getting them put in. I mean, if I had to look, Miami should, especially with their playing style, should be able to beat Michigan. But it's like, I know what's going to happen if Michigan steps on that field. I know who they are. I know how they're going to play. Miami, especially the way they're playing now, I mean, I'd have to take Michigan right now. If you're talking about today, I'm taking Michigan.
Yeah, Miami ends the season versus Syracuse. So they play Syracuse at home this weekend. Then they have NC State. We just saw what they did to Georgia Tech. Virginia Tech at Virginia Tech. And then they end the season at Pitt.
Yeah. I think that loss is
And for anybody who's wondering, it's cold as hell here already.
Yeah, I don't think they beat Pitt. If the Pitt's playing the way they're playing right now, and Miami even is a little better than they're playing right now, I don't think they beat Pitt.
Yeah, man. These college football playoff rankings a little anticlimactic. It seems like they're just going to let everyone sort themselves out. The top is going to be what it is, and yeah.
Question for you: do you think the vaunted Big 12 can get 3 teams, or do you think it's just going to be 2? Yeah,
2.
I think Utah really should have beat BYU. I think they're that team that is like, they might be the best of those 3. That loss against BYU, which again, it was a good game. Just cursing, like that's the one where there's like they're blowing teams out. Like,
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, like since we watched Cincinnati this year, they're not a bad team. They destroyed them. We watched them against Arizona State. Yeah, I give it. They didn't have their quarterback in, but they won by 50. Like Utah is that team where I'm like, they should be in the playoffs this year. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, how it's going to shake out, how the season is going to end. But when I watch Utah, I'm like, that is one of those teams where you're going to have a Boise State in there that no one has faith in round 1. I feel like Utah is a team where you'd be like, I don't know who they're going to play. I don't know what matchup they would get, but I think they would give somebody trouble from one of the bigger conferences in a week 1 playoff matchup.
Speaking of week 1 playoff matchups, you may notice that there's 25 teams on this graphic queue.
Yeah.
But the 12th team in the playoff bracket is not on this image. Are you aware of who, with the current rankings, would be the 12th team in the playoff?
That's a good question. I don't know, actually.
Is it
USF?
No, look at the other graphic. Look at the AP poll. It's number 22 ranked Memphis.
Oh, Memphis
would end up being the G5 team that gets in with the current ranking. So, yeah, I'm going to just take this second to say, get rid of these auto bids. Give me the 12 best teams. I don't care what conferences they come from, bro. I don't care if the ACC doesn't get a team in to the playoffs for the next 5 years. If they do not have one of the 12 best teams, I do not care. There's enough crossover play that there's no way that a conference would get left out and it'd be a team like I just don't see a scenario where a Virginia doesn't get in the playoffs and people are like, but they could have got hot and won a natty. We'll never know.
Yeah, we know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like I honestly, like, I have been a little bit of a defender of the best non-power 4 team should get an opportunity, but there got to be a level parameter. Like, if they're a top 15 team.
What is the line if Memphis plays Ohio State tomorrow?
Okay, but what is the line if anybody's playing Ohio State tomorrow outside of
That's who's going to be playing for the championship, most likely, or at least one game to get to the national championship.
Yeah, but there's more. I feel like there's more to the playoffs than who's going to win. You can tell you right now, outside of that top 4, I don't think any of the other teams are winning the national championship. We might as well just play the 4. But I would say if you're going to have a 12-team playoff, I wouldn't mind a non-power 4 team getting an opportunity, but I feel like they can't be not ranked in the college football playoff at all and then go get an opportunity. Because I will be pissed if Utah misses out on the playoffs because we threw it in Memphis. And I feel like Utah can win a game and Memphis can't. So it's like, at least last year, Oregon played at Oregon and probably should have. I mean, not Oregon. Boise State played at Oregon and probably should have won that game. Like, we could have, we thought they were going to lose, and they did, but at least they didn't do anything. Like Memphis being way down at 22, it's like they probably got a chance in hell in winning a playoff game. So that's a little much for me.
Yeah, I'm over the auto bids. I hate auto bids. Give me the 12 best teams. Are we trying to determine a champion or are we trying to make money? The answer is clearly trying to make money, but I would like to just decide a champion with the best teams. Q, I wanted to move on to what is becoming our favorite segment, what was our least favorite segment for, I don't know, the first 8.5 weeks of the show. The On3 Heisman poll, or as some people are starting to call them on Twitter, TMZ, because it seems like that's the quality and standard of their work these days. But hey, Julian Sainz number 2 on the ballot. At this point, how much of this discussion is anything other than, do any of these other people deserve to be on a graphic with Julian Sainz?
I mean, the way he's playing right now, really no one does. Like, I mean, you're going to miss 3 passes and have 4 touchdowns and no turnovers. Yeah, you're in a league of your own. I mean, this is a little bit why I just hate this being such a quarterback award. I mean, it's basically just all the best quarterbacks from all these teams in contention from around the country, knowing that there's far better players playing around different positions than they are. So, it's outside of Ruben Bain, who somehow still not on this graphic, even though he's had such a Heisman campaign. Yeah, I mean, this is basically just the 4 teams you feel like are a contender, put their quarterbacks up there and go at it. And honestly, I think it's a little bit boring. I'm not going to lie. But no one really deserves to be on the graphic besides Julian Sainz.
I agree. Diego Pavia tied for 6th. I'm just like so glad that the Heisman campaign is over. Ole Miss's backup quarterback is in the top 5. Marcel Reed is starting to try to get his name into this conversation with the top 3, but I think the Julian Sainz hype train is finally rolling.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of feel, I don't say feel bad for Marcel Reed, but I think he's had some big time moments. I mean, a win at Notre Dame, obviously LSU actually destroyed their team. I think he's had those moments. It's just like he's not going to be able to crack. He's just not the level of quarterback the others are. He's more like just a playmaker playing quarterback. So not going to have those moments, but I feel kind of bad for him because it's like he has no chance of probably winning this award, but he's had the Heisman quote unquote moments this season.
Yeah, I think it's just going to come down to voter bias. I don't know how much the Heisman voters are watching Texas A&M, and it doesn't feel like the national media is gassing him. And if the SEC homers at ESPN and the other major networks are going to have to pick between pumping an Alabama quarterback or an A&M quarterback, you know what decision they're going to make there.
Not a hard one. Quick question for you. Not named Jeremiah Smith, is there another non-skill or non-quarterback player that you would like to see in New York for the ceremony?
I mean, is this a serious question?
That's okay. Not Ohio State player.
Because it was going to be Cardell Tate. And if it wasn't going to be Cardell Tate, it was going to be Arvell Reese. And Q, I think it's just probably perfect that we pivot to our main question of the day. It was going to be later in the show, but I mean, that's too perfect of a segue there.
Does Ohio State have the best 4 players in college football?
This stinks. Is Julian saying the best quarterback in college football? Yeah, but is he a top 5 player overall? It's early to say that. Caleb Downs is probably the best player. The receiver, Jeremiah Smith, probably the second best player. Or flip him. I don't care. Arvell Reese is good. Jeremiah Love is fantastic. So, no. I'm going to say no. But maybe.
The best 4 players in college football? No, we have the best 5.
That's disrespectful. They have the best 5. Julian Sayin, Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Arvell Reese, Caleb Downs.
Best 5. Caleb Downs is the best player in college football. They don't have Alonzo Barnett, so no.
College football?
No.
Yeah. What? Ugh, get that shit on my face, bro.
No, Jeremiah Love is one of them.
Indiana's quarterback Mendoza, also one of them. I love that. He's fucking awesome.
No.
Sure, dude. No, they don't, but everyone just fucking glazes them because this is a Big Ten company and everyone sucks the Big Ten's dick. They're not that good.
Or the best 7 or 8.
No. Elijah Surratt, Fernando Mendoza, Aiden Fisher, D'Angelo Pons are the 4 best players in college football.
Yeah.
I think they do.
Probably not, but no.
They have 4 incredible players, maybe the 2 best. But
off there because he was about to make an awful argument that I didn't even want to hear again. He pisses me off. He's been trying to make it for weeks, and I won't even acknowledge it. Q, who had the best answer there, and does Ohio State have the best 4, 5 best players in college football?
I mean, yeah, you could make an argument for maybe 6 if you just categorize position with Caden McDonald and the way he's playing. They won't count him in there, but I mean, certainly if you were just picking D tackles out of the country,
Well, if you put Caden McDonald in there, we might as well stretch it out to 8. Edric Houston just had the highest PFF grade of any D tackle in the nation this past weekend. So should we just come out with a Heisman graphic that's just an Ohio State 2 deep?
Oh, that would be nice. Weekly, and then maybe we'll talk about him next season. I will say, if you go top 4, I mean, you got quite a bit. And I will say this has some, yes, I don't know who these best tackles are from around the country. I'm sure you can find a tackle and put him in the top 5. I'm sure you can find an edge somewhere not playing at Ohio State and throw him in the top 5. Like, I'm sure you could. But if you're just talking players and the way they played this season and what we know, just like eyesight offhand, Caleb Downs is one of the best 4. Jeremiah Smith is one of the best 4. The way Julian Sayin is playing right now is definitely a top 4 player in college football. I don't care. You can put anybody's stats. Like, he's outplaying Ty Simpson, Fernando Mendoza, any quarterback you put up here. Then Carnell Tate is on an absolute run. I mean, it's an argument if he should win the Biletnikoff with the way he's playing right now. So if you're going to say that and he's on the same team with Jeremiah Smith, you can make that argument. Then that's not even counting in Arvell Reese, who may be the biggest freak show on defense around the country and is playing out of his mind. And that's, again, I give Sonny Styles credit every week saying this guy is really good and we're just not giving him enough credit, but that just tells you how good Arvell Reese is playing right now. So you could definitely make an argument they have the best 5. Do I know that be sure? Nope, I'm not an NFL draft analyst, but I can make that argument and it can hold water.
Yeah, I'm going with best 5 because I'm not leaving Carnell Tate out of this conversation, because if Jeremiah Smith wasn't in college football, you know who would be the best wide receiver in college football?
I mean,
Carnell Tate.
Tate.
So, I mean, if we value Jeremiah Smith that much, you got to value Carnell Tate in the same way. He is unguardable right now. His route running is ridiculous. So, I mean, they just keep proving why they are wide receiver Q. I thought that was a fun question and very fitting of the type of overreactions we like to have on here.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, if you're talking best 5 skill players, I think most definitely they're probably the best 5 skill players in the country. Again, I don't watch a lot, and I was say, and Ron gets on me, and I'd be like, "What if a center's the best player in the country? Shouldn't he be able to win the Heisman?" No, I don't want a center holding up my trophy. So. Yeah, we won't count linemen in there or these non-skill, flattery positions. But if you're just talking skill, yeah, it's hard to argue they're not the best 5 right now. And Jeremiah Love, I think, is playing incredible. But yeah, I wouldn't put him above any of those guys. Like, if you're just picking a draft, I mean, are you picking any of those five? Are you picking Jeremiah Love before any of those five?
No, because I'm a homer.
Not being biased. not being biased.
Is it Jeremiah Love that lost to Miami week 1?
Yeah, that's him.
Okay. Yeah, no. I'm not picking him over. Okay, here's my thing.
Okay.
Would you give up any of those 5 players to put Jeremiah Love on our team?
No. I mean, if the freshmen in the running back room weren't there, I might get desperate. But that they are there, it would be hard for me to give up one of those guys.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're taking any of those players and rolling with whoever's next in line at Ohio State to replace them, and then just putting Jeremiah Love in the running back room. Does that make Ohio State better?
I wouldn't give up them, but if you took them off the board, maybe we can make some trades. I'm just kidding.
But that's what I'm saying. Do you think there's any combination of those 5 that you take one of them off the field and replace put Jeremiah Love in the next up as the replacement? Is Ohio State a better team? And maybe I'm crazy. Let me know in the chat. Am I being a crazy homer that I'm running with Ohio State's run game and keeping our core intact? I'm not giving up Caleb Dowds. I'm not giving up Arvell Reese. I'm not giving up Jeremiah Smith. I'm not giving up Carnell, and I'm not giving up Julian Sane. Well, I'll roll with my running back room. Like, I'm fine.
I mean, I would agree, just because our biggest beef is not the players in the running back room. I think our biggest beef is guys just missing blocks and not opening up this run scheme a little bit. And you see, I mean, Bo Jackson was averaging 8 yards a carry on Saturday. Like Jeremiah Smith is great. I mean, Jeremiah Love is great, but is he gonna come in here and average more than 8 yards a carry? Like, is he averaging? He would have an average 15 for me to think about making a trade on Saturday. And I just don't think he would do that running behind that offensive line. But they are getting better, so I'll give them credit. But yeah, I don't think our beef is in the running back room. I think it's scheme and guys missing blocks.
Yeah, and the rotation in the running back room. But Q, we have our national recap from Week 10 coming up, but we have a quick message from our sponsors first.
Hey guys, we got a lot of cool stuff going on the channel right now, so make sure you like and subscribe. Obviously, Ron and Q are doing a great job going daily for the Buckeye Roast, and then me and Tyler are sprinkled throughout the week doing all things Ohio sports. The channel hit 3,000 subs super quickly, and we couldn't do that without you guys, and we want to continue to grow. So make sure you like and subscribe, and we appreciate you guys as always. What does my little brother do? He goes, peace.
Q, there's no better way than starting this segment with an I told you so. And you got tricked into watching this game that I said was not the best game of the week, and I was unsure why it was at the top of the graphic. You watched this Oklahoma-Tennessee game. Should you have listened to your boy Ron, who said this is a fraud game of 2 poop stains fighting each other?
Okay, well, I didn't get tricked into watching this game because I thought those two were 2 good teams. I wanted to see these quarterbacks go at it, and they certainly did in the turnover battle of the year of who was going to put their team in a worse position. I thought it was an exciting game for college football, but if you're looking at real contenders, it was not that. There's no way they could play like that and get anywhere in the playoffs. So I was tricked there, but it was a fun game. Again, John Mateer, I thought Oklahoma, they won the game, but I thought Oklahoma was going to be a little bit better than that with John Mateer. And I'm like, I think they're a real team. I think we were talking about a few weeks ago. Like, they beat Michigan. They're rolling right now. We're waiting for that Texas game. John Mateer gets hurt, and I don't know if he got hurt and the Monstars took his powers, but he has not been the same since, and you can see it there.
And then it would only be right after I told you so to give myself my own flowers when I said that Vandy, Texas was going to be a good game. Vandy storms back towards the end. Texas holds them off. Arch Manning starting to look like the person they lied and said he was at the beginning of the year. Q, are you buying this Texas team getting things rolling, or is it just the schedule benefiting them?
I don't know. Did him and Joey Aguilar switch powers? Because that's maybe that's what happened. No, I mean, I think we said this last week. We only did a couple shows, but in there we did tell you I think Texas is going to beat Vanderbilt. I'm calling this upset very early because I'm pretty sure this is going to happen. They're just too good of a team for this vaunted Vanderbilt that they've told us about, and they were. And again, Arch Manning is getting better. I will see that. I really buy this Texas defense. I mean, people talk about Ohio State week 1. Oh, he only scored 14 against Texas. Yeah, okay. They had a good game against Ohio State. Unfortunately, we just had playmakers that outbeat them. And I get it. They lost Florida as well. Arch Manning didn't help that and probably cost them that game as well. So it wasn't a defense. This defense is real. If Arch Manning can be somewhat competent, like it gives them a chance in these. We talk about the Texas A&M. They can be beat. I'm pretty confident in that. I just haven't seen it done yet. And we know Georgia can lose. Honestly, should have lost last Saturday. So I am buying some stock in this Texas team. I'm not buying a ton. I need to see Arch Manning continue not to lose games like other quarterbacks up at the top we're trying to on Saturday. So I need to see him not do that. But I'm buying stock in this Texas team. I think they're a solid team, and they could potentially make some noise down the run here. Now, I ain't putting all my stock in there. So I got my Arvell Reese stock. I ain't giving up none of that. But they could make some noise down the stretch.
Florida broke my heart on Saturday. I wanted Georgia to lose so bad, and they just folded. And it has that feeling with Georgia that it's like they're becoming my new Alabama of like my weekly SEC hate watch. And it's just, no matter how close it gets, the rest of the other teams just prove that they're inferior. And that's why they have 2 national championships in the last 5 years, and Georgia does. And I felt like that's what we watched on Saturday. I thought it was admirable how much this Florida team is still fighting despite the departure of Billy Napier. But all in all, disappointing outcome. I really wanted to see Georgia fall there. Did you catch any of that game?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch fully, but I caught pretty much the entire game or the entire big plays from it. Yeah, I mean, I thought Florida, I mean, they had them, man. I'm not going to lie. And Florida very much reminds me of, they weren't never as good, but a Penn State where it's like they have so much talent out there that if they're able to put it together, like they can really make noise. And you saw the talent come out against Georgia. Still, Ron, was that a catch or was that not a catch?
I thought it was a catch. I thought it was a catch.
Well, I really think it was a catch.
But that might just be my Kirby hate.
I mean, I don't have Kirby hate. I like Kirby, and I still think that was a catch. So, yeah, I think Florida really should have won that game, and the fact that they didn't just shows, one, they have the NFL talent just even out there. If somebody can coach them and get it together. But yeah, Georgia is that team where you're just waiting for somebody to push them off the ledge, and the way they're playing right now. If they played Ohio State like that today, which I would love to get back for a couple years ago, like I think we would destroy them. I think we would honestly blow them out. Indiana as well. I don't think Georgia would come close to beating Indiana either. So if they're really going to make some noise, and I think this is a big year for Kirby. We talked about at the beginning of the even before the season, they got to pull it together. I mean, this might just be who they are, and I'm not saying they're better than what they've shown us, but man, they got to pull it together because that defense does not look the same. And that offense, you get those Zachariah Branch in there, that he ain't saving you. So they have to play better. They really should have lost on Saturday.
They absolutely should have lost. Q, did you get a chance to watch any of Indiana, Maryland? Because, man, this Indiana team looks dominant on both sides of the ball. I mean, they were just running the ball with will. They were getting takeaway after takeaway after takeaway. At one point, I would have sat down my entire wide receiver core and just went out there in a wing tee and just handed the ball off the rest of the game because the way they kept fumbling, I would have gotten fired on the sidelines. The way I would have lost my mind because it just felt like they were just giving the ball away every possession. It was one of the more frustrating games to watch, but man, that Indiana team is impressive.
Yeah, I didn't get to see them on Saturday, but that box score kind of tells me all I need to know. Like, this is like you would swear Ohio State played Maryland. Like, that is how Indiana is rolling right now. I mean, you're not going to do much better 55-10. I mean, honestly, the score it looks bad. I mean, it looked like Indiana played us. Like, that's what the score looked like. So, Yeah, I mean they're playing extremely well right now. I am very interested for this Big 12 Big 10 championship as long as nothing screws it up. Like I'm very looking forward to this game because I really want to see how real Indiana is. And I've seen some people going back and forth on Twitter. I have no hate for Indiana. I'm glad they're having a good season. I'm glad someone stepped up when Penn State fell through the floor because we need at least 3 teams to talk about how good our conference is. So I'm glad they're good. But yeah, we'll see. But right now they're taking care of business. And again, if they can get some talent and keep their coaching staff together, all that good stuff, I'm very interested to see what Indiana turns into.
Is this a chess, not checker situation when you look at Indiana running it up and having style points in every game? It feels like versus Ohio State, who is controlling the pace and essentially shaving 2 games worth of possessions off of their schedule. Is this Ryan Day having more experience of what it takes to win a national championship? Any concern that these style points of Indiana, like just beating their chest all season to prove that they belong and they are deserving of being in the top 2 conversation in the country? Do you have any concern that this team could burn out before the end of the year?
No. I mean, I think they're doing exactly what they need to do because, Ron, we've been here before where in Indiana is not the brand Ohio State is. We've been here before where this college football playoff committee looks at the last week of the season and is like, you know what? I really don't like Indiana at 2 or even really 3. Let me throw Alabama and Texas A&M at 2 and 3, put Indiana at 4. Next thing you know, the second after their bye week, they're playing Oregon. Like, it's like Indiana's looking at it like we have to blow these teams out. We don't have the brand recognition. People are waiting for the real Indiana to show up, and they're not watching film. They're not watching us week to week play these teams and how dominant we are. Indiana needs to go full steam ahead with keeping these games not close. And if you run out of steam, I guess you run out of steam, but you do not want – if you want any game in question, you want that Big Ten championship in question, then you say Ohio State's been the best team wire to wire all season. Do not come in, I don't know their schedule, but don't have a game against Iowa. Well, they already played Iowa, but don't have a game like that where you win by 7 and they're like, you know what? Texas A&M is better than Indiana. They only won by 7. So I'm with them and what they're doing.
Absolutely. We were high on this Cincinnati-Utah game. I'm just going to chalk it up to Cincinnati didn't have Evan Pryor. That's why they lost. I also said that the Georgia Tech-NC State game shouldn't be on here. NC State gets a top 10 upset. Whoops.
I didn't know Evan Pryor was worth 50 points, but, you know.
In my heart, he is.
They'll get their gift back eventually.
Absolutely. Q, I wanted to pivot from the national conversation and talk some Buckeyes. This is the Buckeye Roast. Ryan Day talked to the media yesterday, and you had some notes from that press conference.
Yeah, I do. Your most fun topic. So Ryan Day talked, addressed the guards first, Ronnie, and he said the guards are banged up. So he addressed the status of Tegra, Luke, and Josh Padilla. All got banged up last week against Penn State. He didn't go into specifics, but said 2 or 3 of them will be fine. We don't know which 2 or 3 because Ryan ain't going to tell us, but he said the third one is up in question. Any concern with the guards going forward as far as injuries? And obviously this team has been pretty healthy throughout the year, so hopefully fingers crossed they stay like that, but any concerns?
No, because if Luke was one of the 3 that wasn't coming back, they would already be discussing shuffling the offensive line, in my opinion. So I'm going to go with they feel comfortable that at least one of those right guards is going to be ready to go, and they doesn't sound like they think they lost the other one for the entirety of the season. So we'll just have to monitor that situation, but I'm not overly concerned.
There you go. Same here. My guy, Ryan, they talked about James Peoples, and he said on his run Saturday, and he said, wait, hold on. I saw somebody who's been practicing better. He had a good run, broke a couple tackles, came up, showed some energy. I talked about James Peoples, and I said I thought he had a pretty good game on Saturday, some of the better runs I see him have throughout the year. Were you impressed with James Peoples against Penn State at all?
Yeah, I mean, you have to give credit where credit's due. I think he ran the ball hard towards the end of the game, and I think they used him right in the role that I think he's best in. When the defense is beat up and tired at the end of the game, put in a fresh James Peoples, who at one point in time was thought of as a borderline 5-star running back, and let him go show that explosiveness and beat up on a tired defense. I love him in that role. I think we've seen him have his best runs in that role this season, and I think they need to keep him in that role until he can continue to get his confidence and reps up. And then if he continues to have success in that role, give him more carries. But until then, I like him exactly where he's at, and I think they've found a great role for him.
Yeah, I think we're both in agreement that he's running back 3 right now. The other 2 freshmen above him, and then C.J. Donaldson. You don't think he's 3? He puts C.J. Donaldson above him? I think he's 3.
Yeah.
He's 3. I've seen. I try to give C.J. Donaldson a little credit on Saturday.
Third and 2, you have to give the ball to someone. Who are you giving it to?
Peoples or Donaldson? Before Saturday, Peoples, because I see Donaldson get stopped every time. After Saturday, I thought Donaldson ran the hardest he's run all year. So I will say Donaldson on 3rd, 4th, and 2. But that answer has been different the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Donaldson there. I still have Peoples at 4.
All right. Well, you just differ. We'll see how that shakes out. Okay, Rondale talked about the next step for Julian Sand, and this is very important. He said, well, it can't just be a play or 2 or half a season. It's got to be consistent. You look at college quarterbacks, you look at NFL quarterbacks. They have a good game, have a good year, a good season, but can they continuously do it over time and time again? So I'm a consistency of Julian Sand, and I think that's been the one thing throughout this season that he has done. Are you, Ronald, I would say, how impressed are you by how consistent he's been? Because you look at it and you're like, we've seen this before, and a guy will have a step back or a game or 2 or something will be off. We really haven't seen any cheek in the armor from Julian Sand. How impressed have you been by him?
Super impressed. I mean, he's doing historic things out here right now. He has the best completion percentage that we've ever seen from a quarterback, and the team has talked about it. Rondale has talked about it. He just seems so poised out there. He doesn't change whether they're up, they're down. Rondale, I believe, I don't know if you have it in the notes, but he talked about how like no one was rattled at halftime. They just talked about what they needed to do and came back out and handled business. And I think a lot of that, he has a different leadership style than Will Howard. He wasn't as animated, but I don't think he had the timid, let's not make mistakes, Kyle McCord attitude. And you didn't even see Kyle with that attitude at Syracuse, but Julian seems to just have like a quiet confidence that radiates with the rest of the team, and the team seems to know who their vocal leaders are. So I've just been uber impressed with Julian saying his ability to hit the deep ball, his ability to be accurate. We talked about last year so much how important it was that Will was able to make plays with his legs and not necessarily plays that resulted in big time runs or long scrambles to extend a play. Yeah, he had those types of plays, but I thought some of the best things that Will Howard did last year was his ability to extend plays with his legs and just throw the ball away and live to fight another day. And you know, when this offense is as efficient as it is, that not every play has to be a touchdown because you're going to keep driving methodically. You're going to find your explosives. So his ability to protect the ball since early in the season where, I mean, even when you think about his interceptions, they were in games where he almost broke the completion percentage, single game completion percentage in the game that he had 2 interceptions. So he's absolutely balling when you think about what he's doing out there. And I couldn't be more impressed with what he's doing.
I'm right with you. You want to talk about this. So on changing the Ohio State band visit from Michigan week to the open week, he said, just trying to make sure the last week of the regular season is as normal as possible. That was it. It certainly appreciate the band and everything they do and the efforts and all that. Just trying to keep things as consistent as we possibly can because we really want to focus because that's the game is what we really want to focus on. Ron, I don't think the band was the reason we lost to Michigan, but I will let you take this.
I don't think the band was the reason that we lost to Michigan, but I think Rondale is taking a new approach to the Michigan week where I would be shocked if we see them taping up the helmets like Michigan. I would be shocked if they're playing It's Time for War 24/7 in the facility the week of the game. I think they're going to take a standard approach and go in there and handle business. I think Rondale now feels comfortable enough with his program that he doesn't have to carry around all of the urban pageantry around the game. And I think that may have been mentally psyching this team out, the added pressure and pageantry around the week of the game. And I think Ryan Day is going to make it about ball this year. And could I be 1,000% wrong? And you know what I mean? They already have the rolls of tape, and they're going to be taping up helmets and doing all they could. But from the sounds of it, and Q, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, not even correct me if I'm wrong. Let me get your thoughts on it. Like, does it not sound like Ryan Day plans to take a more measured approach this season as far as this Michigan game and just treat it like not any other game, but every game on Ohio State's schedule is a one-game season. They want to go 1-0 and win against a team in front of them, whether it's Michigan, whether it's Indiana, whether it's Northwestern. They want to win. And I don't know. It feels like not that they're de-emphasizing the game. I think they're just taking a different approach.
Yeah, I mean, well, certainly. I mean, I don't know if you knew this, but my family owns the patent on both blue and yellow tape, so I'm sure hoping they order a lot of that so we can keep it going. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I think the band has been, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, some of y'all are Ohio State lifers longer than I am. I think the band has been a long-time tradition at Ohio State. I don't know how long the helmets have been taped, or some of the other stuff they do, but I think I think he moved the senior tackle again. It was that week, and he moved it last year or something, or the year before, something like that. I mean, if you have these long-standing traditions that have been around a long time, I have a little bit of a beef with you moving those. I mean, I think if that has been the standard and the tradition, I mean, that's what makes Ohio State Ohio State. What are you gonna do before the game? Not ring the victory bell? Like, if it's gonna be a tradition, like, that is not necessarily something you change. I agree with you. I think Ryan Day wants to put focus and make it normal. And
so you actually care that they moved when the band meets with the team?
I mean, if it's part of that week, like, it's something that's like, that is sold when you're recruited. That is sold when you come to the school. It's part of tradition.
No, it is. Get the hell out of here.
Come on, man.
Time out. No. Let me, before I bring Q up here, I want to describe what he just explained. This man just applied. So you think at any point during Jeremiah Smith's discussion, they're like, and one day we're gonna let you wear a drum on the week before Michigan, and you're gonna get, honestly, what's your favorite instrument, bro? You want a French horn? Like, we'll get you one of those, bro. Like, the week before Michigan, the band comes in and we have a great time. I promise you, there are freshmen on the team before that even happened that didn't even know that happened the week of Michigan.
I'm not saying that's why they came to the school. But I'm saying if you're part of the school and the traditions, and like,
it still happened. It just happened a different week.
Ron, all I'm saying, if Chris Carter played the drum, I want to play the drum like Chris Carter did.
They get to play the drum just during the bye week.
What? Why I gotta play the drum in September and Chris Carter got to play it in November? What are we doing here? Like, if that's a tradition,
such an awful take.
That's not the reason you're losing the game. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
What's today's date? 11/5. Write this down. Q's worst take of the season. This is passing your Norvell take. Look, easily your worst take of the season.
What are you gonna do next? Not dot the I before the game? Like, come on, man. This is not why you're losing the game. The traditions ain't got nothing to do with it. You can focus on ball. You know what? Maybe.
So you think the week that we play the biggest game of the year, we should have Devin Sanchez practicing his drum roll versus his back pedal?
A Tuesday after practice? Does it matter? What is he substituting that?
Yeah,
for?
It does. Clearly.
Well, he's doing something else that has nothing to do with football after practice.
No, not that week.
Oh, okay. Look, all I'm saying
he's walking around campus crossing out M's.
Look, all I'm saying, if James Laurinaitis hit the bass drum before the week against Michigan, before he went and beat him, I want to do the same thing. That's all. That's not why you lost.
So, do you think, like, they're in the middle of these NIL pitches and they're like, all right, $2.5 million and we'll let you carry it to your sophomore year, and if you play well, carry a drum.
No, clearly they're not doing that. But that's part of the stuff when you come to school. Okay, I'll tell you this, Ron. This is complete sidetrack, but since you want to go here, we'll skip some of these other points that don't matter. So, when I joined my fraternity, okay, I didn't care about all these traditions and what they had. I just wanted to go and party and have a good time and drink with sorority girls on Saturdays and watch games with the bros and all that. After being in the fraternity for a few years, some of the things that we would do mattered more. And I'm like, oh yeah, like you got to do this because we've all did it and that's part of the tradition. And we've done it for, at that time, it's been there for like 30 years at that school. Like, so it doesn't mean nothing to me when I get there, but after you're there and like people come back and say, oh, like we did the same thing, we did this, like it means more to you. So you weren't a fraternity guy, but I'm just saying, like, you're playing on a football team and you're soccer, or you play soccer. If y'all had a long-standing tradition, how would you have felt if coach had been like, hey guys, I know I ran a 1-10-1, which got us scored on because no one should run that formation against our rival. But, that's not why we lost. It's because we had the players' night on a Friday before the game. So we're not going to do that anymore like we've done the last 30 years.
Q, you brought up my soccer career and traditions, and we did have a tradition in soccer that I would have loved to miss out on. It was called Circle of Death. Our coach would put a garbage can in the middle of the circle at the 50-yard line, and you would stand at opposite ends of someone of comparable speed in the same circle. They would blow the whistle, and you would run until someone dropped or got caught. And if you were the one who dropped or got caught, once you woke up from passing out, or once you got caught, you would go get dragged down to the baseline, or not the baseline, the end line, and go run more punishments. So yeah, if I had the opportunity to miss out on that tradition of running until I died, yeah, I would have absolutely loved that one, Q. So awful example.
Well, these are fun traditions, Ron, not your military coach going out there trying to.
There was nothing fun about soccer at my high school. It was just military precision of running until you're about to die.
Okay. All right. Well, moving on. I don't think that's why we lost to Michigan, and I know we got to talk recruiting. So I will hit one more point for you, Ron, just because I want to get your recollection of this. Right, they talked about on why it's hard for Ohio State to play Purdue. He said, I was part of the 18 team, so I know what that was like, and they have a lot of pride. I think Barry Odom is a very good coach. So not much about Purdue, but I want to ask you, where were you? What is your memory of that Dwayne Haskins Purdue loss where Rondale Moore went absolutely crazy? What's just your memories of that game? And like, because I will lie, I didn't watch that game. I found out after because I was out partying and was like, what? We should have blew them out. I didn't watch the game because I thought we were going to win by 50.
I'm trying to think where I was watching it. I'm guessing I was at home, but I do remember the entire time watching it. Who is this guy? Who is he? I just kept remember asking myself, like, there's no way Purdue has one player better than everyone that we have. Like, it's just like, I just remember the entire game asking myself, like, pace and like, but who is this guy? Like, how is this happening? Because like, you hear coming into the week, oh, they got this one receiver, and it's like, all right, one receiver. There's no way one receiver is going to kill us. And then he did.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I found out after the game that, and I think it was we played on like a Friday, right? If I remember correctly, it might have been a Friday. But I just remember finding out after the game that I was there. Was like, Ohio State lost, right? I'm like, what? We played Purdue. To who? And thinking like, man, this Sean Wade guy is surely a miss. I don't care what the rankings said. Had no idea Rondale Moore was Army All-American and all that. I'm like, man, if he can't guard this guy from Purdue, how is he going to play against these other opponents that we have coming up? We play real teams. So I missed on that one. But yeah, I found out after and was like, it was pretty good. Because, and I'll share this, Ron, my fraternity, no college football ball watchers. There may have been one or two Penn State fans. But
you guys didn't have a college football team, so that doesn't surprise me.
But I'm just saying, they didn't watch college football at all. Like, they didn't have outside teams or somebody like, oh, I loved LSU. Like, none of that, right? They all know because I'm a big Ohio State fan. They all know I love Ohio State. So the entire fraternity, every time Ohio State loses, always text me like, what's going on with your team? I'm like, bro, leave me alone. I should join the fraternity.
That's me with Ohio State. That's me with Duke basketball. When Duke loses in the tournament, it is an annual thing where I get text messages from people that I haven't talked to in years. Someone just, excited Duke lost. Let me text Ron. It's bullshit.
Yeah, we got to be around more sports fans. I need to meet more sports fans in my life. Okay, moving on. You want to talk about recruiting so we can get out of here?
Yeah, Q. We got a message from our sponsors here, and then we will wrap up the show with a little recruiting update.
Hey guys, we got a lot of cool stuff going on the channel right now, so make sure you like and subscribe. Obviously, Ron and Q are doing a great job going daily for the Buckeye Roast, and then me and Tyler are sprinkled throughout the week doing all things Ohio sports. The channel hit 3,000 subs super quickly, and we couldn't do that without you guys, and we want to continue to grow. So make sure you like and subscribe, and we appreciate you guys as always. What does my little brother do? He goes, peace.
Q. A little peek behind the curtain. Obviously, that is Chris Drew on the intro as well. I write the show notes and send him the topics, and then he records us an intro daily. And sometimes Chris takes liberties and doesn't necessarily know what I'm trying to say with the intros. And he asked, is it too late for the Buckeyes recruiting surge? And what I wrote in the note was, is it too late to say sorry, Q?
I'll take every single piece of blame if you want me to. But you know that there is no innocent one in this game for two. I'll go, and then you go out and spill the truth. Can we both say the words and forget this? Yeah, is it too late now to say sorry? 'Cause I'm missing more than just your body.
Like to say sorry for the lunatic fringe that was losing their mind during June, July, August. I had people blowing on my phone. Oh my God, Ross is ruining recruiting. What are we going to do? House bill this, salary cap that. We're not in the top 10 classes. Oh my God, we won a natty. We're at 9. And Q, you know what I said?
What'd you say?
I can't hear you over my national championship. If you don't get out of my face with this recruiting after we just won a natty and just be happy, like you think we just proved after everything that we've been through that we found a way to win a national championship, and you're worried about Ohio State acquiring talent? Since when? I just could not be bothered with the topic, Q. And now we are at the point of the year where we asked the over-under for flips this year. Ohio State has cruised past what we set at 1.5 already, and they lose a commit in Aaron Thomas in the 500s in the class, and the Buckeyes are hot on the trail, and it feels like the Buckeyes could potentially go on a recruiting heater here. Q, the first name that you put into the notes, Kevin Brown, the number 6 offensive tackle in the country, 61 overall, trending to Ohio State. This is one of the names that we've talked about before as one of the former Penn State commits that recently decommitted. It seems to be now down between Ohio State and West Virginia. It would be an absolute massive get for Tyler Bowen and the Buckeyes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'm as gun on it as you are. I'm one of those people who be like, I can't hear my trophy. I want a dynasty. And the dynasty is partly, again, we got the transfer portal, but built through recruiting. I'm happy Ohio State is moving in the right direction. I was a Kevin Brown big-time tackle. I put in here in the composite, he's the number 161 overall player and the 6th offensive tackle. And definitely, as much as we've talked tackles in the last couple of years, we can certainly use one as a top 100 player. So definitely no problems about that. Seems to be moving in the right direction. My little beef still is, and why I won't say sorry, is Ohio State should be moving like this regardless. Like, I don't need Penn State's James Franklin to get fired for Ohio State to pull in a top, another top 100 tackle. We should be aiming to get 2 if not 3 in the top 200 every year. I don't need somebody. I don't need Florida's coach to get fired or Florida State or coach to get fired for us to go flip a top 200 cornerback. I don't need that. Like, we should be doing that stuff anyway. So that's a little bit of my beef. So, but I will not complain if things are going the right direction. It seems like Ohio State, maybe not yet, but it looks like they're going to make a big time run to signing day.
Q, we have done, I don't know, probably 30 to 40 episodes on this channel already, and I don't think this phrase has been said once. It's a new era at Ohio State, but man, if there was ever a recruit that would fit this title, it would be this guy, Q. Do you know what phrase I'm referring to?
I do not. What phrase are you referring to?
Too fast to play here. Legend Bay, Tennessee commit. He is an athlete, and man, if you turn on his film, all you see is speed. It looks like the film is running at 2 times speed. He's moving so fast. Like, it is ridiculous. I don't know what position he's going to play here. I think they're leaning towards running back. And man, if the Buckeyes were able to go out and get someone with this type of speed, it seems like Ryan Day, not only does he feel like he's looking for culture fits, but man, looks like they're searching for a little bit of speed as well in this class.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't used that. I think I had to retire that line when Jeremiah Smith committed in signing because I was like, okay, can't use it now for everybody. I think we got a couple fast guys on this team. But I did watch Legend Bay's tape last night. I mean, he looks explosive, looks dynamic. Obviously, he plays quarterback, so it'll be a little bit of an adjustment for him. But I mean, hey, I am all for dynamic playmakers on this offense, and I think that may be the one thing over the years Ohio State really hasn't featured. Maybe that guy who's not the traditional receiver or traditional running back, but just get the ball in his hands and let him go crazy. So we'll see. Legend Bay, I mean, I was signed Terrell Pryor. Haven't seen him yet from last year. It was kind of a different build, but somewhat in that Legend Bay category. So if we can get him, and they want him, they plan on using him. So, and the kid looks like a baller, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, and then one of the other names that I wanted to talk about as far as this recruiting run, it seems like the Buckeyes are heating up for cornerback and local Pittsburgh product, Jay Timmons, son of Pittsburgh legend Lawrence Timmons, Florida State cornerback commit, leaning towards the Buckeyes. We know the Buckeyes are pretty thin in that room as far as recruits. I think they only have 1 cornerback committed at the moment, potentially 2. But if Jermaine and Iggy were to depart this year, that room is going to be pretty thin. So that's one that they're looking to shore up, and it would help make some recruiting inroads. He is of Pine Richland High School, also the same high school that Khalil Taylor, recent 2027 wide receiver offer, attends. So maybe the Buckeyes are trying to put their roots down in the Whippeal. So something to keep an eye on there, especially with number 1 running back in the country, Kamon Spell, also coming out of McKeesport. Pittsburgh really heating up as far as recruiting prospects.
Yeah, I mean, typically, Pittsburgh doesn't, Philadelphia doesn't, Pennsylvania doesn't have a lot of talent as far as football. I talked about it with James Franklin. Okay, I'm just messing with you. Yeah, because I got dropped last time for saying that. It'd be good.
Don't get me started on Arizona.
I'm not from here. Look at what the talent look like. Anyway, no, Jay Timmons, I watched his tape earlier today. I mean, rangy prospect, he's a fast guy. I mean, obviously he had a ton of touchdowns on his highlight tapes, where it was pick sixes or plays at receiver. So, I mean, talent coming up. Again, Pennsylvania's right down the street, so it's always good to keep tabs with that pipeline. And we'll see if we got another cornerback, because we are a little thin. We've had some guys decommit. We've had some guys that we missed out on. So it'd be good to get another one in the room.
And the last name that I wanted to talk about, recent Colorado decommit Emmanuel Ruffin, 2026 defensive lineman. The Buckeyes always looking for big bodies to add to the room. The Buckeyes are expected to be in contention for that one as well. Q, are you surprised that the Buckeyes are this involved in trying to get flips towards the end of the season? It feels like they usually sit on their hands at this time of the year. And for the longest that we were told that, hey, this class is what it is, they're not really going to get involved in too many things. And now it seems like every decommit, the Buckeyes name is being floated with.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm a little surprised, but I mean, this logically would make sense. I mean, all the firings out there, all the talent that's up for grabs. I mean, big time jobs with talented classes. I mean, talking about Penn State, LSU, probably Florida and Florida State coming soon. Like, there's just a ton of places out there that have talent that we know. And Ohio State used to do this, I think, really well. Used to find times where programs were down. We talked about it with the USC, UCLA days when they were both garbage. They say, hey, we're going out to Cali. You know, some talent. They did it in Arizona. They did it in Washington. Like, this is what makes sense. So I think we begged the other day, like, please pull out the checkbook, because the way this team looks on the field, the way this staff, and we get Heartline is in talks for other jobs, but the way this staff is assembled, like the way things are rolling right now, you have to take advantage. And if you are able to continue to keep the cupboard stocked, you're talking about a potential dynasty that Ohio State has a chance to here, especially with the way Dave's coaching, the way he's focusing. We haven't really seen him like this. All you got to do is get the guys in the building. After that, everything will take care of itself. So if Ohio State's moving like this, it's a good sign. That tells you, like, Ross B. York or who the powers that be for NIL is like, well, wait a second. Maybe we can spare 20 or $40 to get you some more guys. Y'all do look pretty good out there, so I might have a little pocket change for you.
Yeah, I thought I was going to have to organize a can day in Columbus to make sure that the Buckeyes could add a few more recruits as we started to slip out of the top 10. But Q, that's all I have for this show. And man, every day we say, man, we're going to shorten these shows up, and they're getting longer and longer. So please tell the people where they could find you.
Yeah, I didn't expect the Michigan band segment to go off the rails like that, but that was pretty funny in itself, so I'm happy it did. Man, you know where to find me on the Friday here on the Buckeye Roast. One, make sure you like that video. Make sure you hit that sub button. Chris Drew said he appreciates everybody. All new subs rolling in. Check the members the other day. There's a ton of members in there, so if you're feeling left out, you want to join in, feel free to join that membership. A lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and we greatly appreciate all the members and the people that give subs. So appreciate you on that end. I am C-Boy Quitting on Twitter. Flying Johnson on Instagram. Actually, I had somebody. I'll shout him out tomorrow. I got to check the name again. But I had somebody who watches the show send the Ohio State linebacker video and actually say, yeah, Ron will be impressed with this. So I'll shout them out tomorrow. But yeah, hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I don't know what else I got. Cash App, all that stuff. I'm over there. I'm just kidding, man. Rob, where can I find you at?
Yeah, I mean, first, I want to make sure everyone answers the question of the day down in the comments. Let us know, when you dreamed of being a Buckeye football player, what instrument did you want to play the week of the Michigan game? Because I know that's just what everybody grows up dreaming about, you know, being a Buckeye football player, but most importantly, putting an instrument on during the Michigan week. And let us know how heartbroken you would be to do it on the bye week instead of the Michigan game. If you want to make sure you send that to me in a more direct way, you can find me on Twitter at 2Ts. You can catch me right here on the Dead Air Sports YouTube channel for the Buckeye Roast Monday through Friday right here with my guy Q. That is Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. You can catch me in the Bleacher Report app with Chris Drew for instant reactions after every Ohio State game. And yeah, we appreciate you guys tuning in, and you know how this thing ends. It's always go Bucks. And of course, OH.
I-O.
I thought you were going to say trombone.
When I hit the scene, everybody know me. 40 tucks in my skinny jeans. I'm so fucking low key. All hundreds, finna go get some cream. This another show week. It's a show week. Out the 7 days, I gotta pick up 40. Mama told me, baby, get you some sleep. Gotta turn down, move slow, please. I go home, rock my son to sleep. Gotta stay awake, get more of these. Nigga, you mad cause you ain't getting no cheese. Whole hood charge you whole fee. Sometimes there's no one to watch over me. Too broke, can't get close to me. Send an op, say hello to me. Number respect when approaching me. And don't act like you don't know it's me. Know that bitch somewhere close to me. And I ain't got no reason to be on that. You the one to avenge your homie. Even though I really be on that. Beat a nigga up if you want that. You can't even buy a whole lunch, Jack. Better get a clock and punch that. Used to run my hood like a rug rat. We went to war with one guy. Ain't lying, we'll go, they come back. All on defense, bust back. So they want me whack. How they shots out the back of the lat. I spit that shit that you get high to and make you want clap after that. Then drop some shit that make you contemplate on it after the fact. Rap the shit you living, nigga, what happened to that? I don't give a fuck about the rap game no more, nigga, I'm after the check. I ain't with a rap beef, nigga say my name once, I'm after his neck. Reach for 150, I'm